MBTA Communities Working Group continues to review and revise the draft map to pinpoint just where additional multifamily housing could soon be located in Arlington. As you can imagine, having a project of this magnitude has generated great interest here in Arlington. It has been met with approval and at times intense disapproval. The latest look at the MBTA Communities draft map took place last week, less than a month before an all-important September 11th Redevelopment Board hearing.
The MBTA Communities Working Group's last meeting took place on Tuesday, August the 15th at the Arlington Police Station. Arlington Redevelopment Board members say having these multifamily housing locations identified is necessary in order to comply with Massachusetts state law. Arlington is one of nearly 180 Bay State municipalities classified as an MBTA community and therefore is expected to have at least one zoning district of reasonable size in which multifamily housing is permitted as of right. Areas under consideration include Mass Ave and Broadway in the Arlington Center area. Based on the presentation, Arlington is currently looking at rezoning roughly 3 times the number of the state-mandated minimum, which would be a little more than 2,000. One town meeting member questions the working group's process in terms of optics and also representation.
So many times when you try to form a study committee in town, there's a lot of insistence that it be representative of a cross-section, that it be neutral in some way. This is not a neutral working group. This is a working group that seems to me to be very pro-development. There's somebody on there who's a real estate developer, as I said, a couple of architects. So I just don't think that there's enough representation.
Before the working group meeting at the police station, nearly 150 people turned up here at Town Hall late last month to voice their approval or disapproval for the draft map, which has undergone multiple iterations in recent months. Earlier this month, ACMi's James Milan talked to Claire Ricker, Arlington's Director of Planning and Community Development, who said the July 25th meeting here was a great chance for the public to interact with the working group and keep everyone up to date on the amount of hours the MBTA Communities Working Group is actually putting into this massive project.
It was an extremely productive meeting. We had a great conversation. We heard from a lot of people, their concerns about MBTA communities, certainly some of their fears, and some responses about the data that we had shown and that we had provided. And I think, as an outcome of that meeting, we really pointed people towards the data that we've been using, the model that we've been using, which is publicly available on the state website. And folks are, I think, starting to work the model themselves and, really see what we've been up against for the past year in trying to plan this zone.
It appeared many residents were opposed to the plan for several reasons, and some residents have been very vocal over one chief issue in particular, over the number of additional living units that eventually could be built in Arlington. These speakers urged zoning for only the minimum number of units required.
The real deadline isn't until the end of next year. It isn't until December of 2024. And I feel that this is such a far-reaching and such an impactful change that Arlington is, in terms of zoning policy, is about to deploy on various neighborhoods, that we really should take our time and give it thought and allow more stakeholders to participate in the decisions that are made.
Everything that's been discussed, everything that we've worked on is available on the website, along with FAQs, memos, all sorts of things that sort of explain, where, why, and how the town intends to do this. So the information is there, certainly, and there's a lot of it, but it's all there, and people should absolutely take a look at what we have and take a look at the work that's been done.
Now, as reported, the working group continues to review and revise the map in advance of the Redevelopment Board hearing come September the 11th. The proposed multifamily zone is expected to go before a vote at special town meeting in the month of October. Also, members of the working group will be attending a variety of events throughout Arlington where they're looking to meet and speak with as many community members as possible. This, of course, is a lot of information to digest. You can find out much more about this major process by going to the town website, arlingtonma.gov. Once again, the website is arlingtonma.gov. For ACMi News, I'm Jeff Barnes.
You can find some working group members at the Arlington Farmers Market on August 30th and September 6th, Arlington Eats, the concert series at the Reservoir, the Saturday Beer Gardens at the Jason Russell House, and many more locations. Just go to arlingtonma.gov for the latest information on the MBTA Communities Project.